Ah, summer. Oh, that feeling of being out on the water, or maybe the back porch with an ice cold drink in your hand. Maybe it's lemonade, iced coffee, or sparkling water in your favorite emotional support cup. Just enough time to take a breath, maybe crack a smile, and get a little boost that will help you today as a leader. Welcome to the vibe of the Joyosity Summer Sips. So, whether you are a seasoned leader, you've been here a long time, or you're just figuring out what Joyosity podcast is, or a new leader kind of figuring out your way through the chaos, you belong here. And we base all of our work on three bedrock beliefs. Number one, true leadership requires more than surface level strategies. It requires a profound commitment to everything that makes us human. And number two, using genuine curiosity, we can create positive culture with complex people because, listen, complex people are all we got. And number three, joy is the heartbeat of a healthy leader and a healthy organization. So we put joy and fun and play right in the center of our work. I'm Jenn Whitmer, international speaker, leadership consultant, author, and all-around joy bringer, hosting you and guiding us along the way. With my co-host and podcast producer, Shelby Merriweather, we're serving up short, refreshing episodes this season. Just a conversation between Shelby and me that highlight what we learned over the 24-25 season of the Joyosity podcast. Each summer sip is just 8 to 12 minutes long, perfect for your walk, drive, or your morning pick-me-up. So be sure to check out the show notes for the full episodes if you want to dig in more what the full month was about and get a little boost for your leadership in this summer season. And if you want to keep practicing with joy while you're waiting for my book Joyosity to come out this fall, join the Joyosity Works very important party at jennwhitmer.com/books. That's Jenn with two N's, jennwhitmer.com/books. You'll get my 5-minute Friday videos that are quick, practical, and full of joy-fueled leadership tools that you can use right away. So now, grab your icy glass and let's take a sip. We move from Mo into October talking with Kenx Black. So former Nike executive, he is a creative genius and designer and just an adorable, wonderful human. And he is so brilliant when he talks about values. And so we had 3 episodes with Kevin, which was amazing, talking about values. And I think the thing I keep coming away with when we talk about values, because I talk about values as well, that I've brought into the way I teach is that idea of values aren't just the way you want to see the world, because that's how I've always kind of taught it. The values get to be your chosen way that you see the world, but also how you want others to see you. So how am I going to behave through that lens of values? Not so we're trying to earn other people's respect, but that this is how I want to show up in the world. And so I want others to see me through that lens of that value. I kept kind of coming back to that as a new perspective on values.
And I loved his point. I believe it was Ken that was talking about how those values follow you through different stages of career.
Yes.
So, and I thought that was really helpful for me because my career has been like a lot of people's twisty turny, and like it's just that like I don't know what, for a while I was like, I don't know what the through line is between, I went from the medical field to like now I'm in like more of a podcast producing, virtual assisting kind of space. And like the through line is that I like to help people, like, and understanding that value. And if I ever move out of this role to something else, like being able to have that, like, oh, does this job align with me? And here's my values. Does my company still align with these values? Like, but viewing it more as like, instead of the company having these values, like what are my personal values and does it align, kind of thing was helpful.
Yeah. And that's super helpful for all of us to think about, well, what are my personal values? So because I own my own business, I get to say that the values of my business are these things. They don't exist in a vacuum, and they can change. I can revisit them and make sure
Mhm.
that's still what I'm valuing. But when I'm bringing people on, I even send it in my proposals to potential clients. Like,
Yeah,
here
that's
are
cool.
my values. So are you, if we're aligned in these values, then that's good. They don't have to be the same, but
Right.
are they in alignment? I think is really helpful, that sense of transparency with people.
Yeah, and so one of mine one of my, like, learning lessons that kinda comes up when we're talking about this because obviously, when you own a business, you make a lot of mistakes, right? One
I
of
think
my
being a human, you make a
Yeah,
lot of mistakes.
true, that's a good point. And when you're a leader in any
Yeah.
capacity, I think you make a lot of mistakes. And one of my mistakes was not communicating early enough, the value like, for me, my business is built around being able to be home with my children, and allowing those that work with me to be able to be home with their children, all of that. I
Mhm.
also live in the hills where if you go outside, you don't have service. So, for me, I am very like, I work from this time to this time, and I will be, like, available at this point, and once I'm done for the day, y'all, like, probably can't reach me, and, like, I value and, like, try very hard to be on top of things, so almost by the time that me and a client have worked together for a couple months, they know me, they know that I'm gonna be on top of things, and usually that's not a problem, but I did have one client that I had wanted to work with, and we were just about to, like, onboard together, and they said something along the lines of, like, "I need you to be responsive at, like, all hours of the day,
24/7. Yeah.
essentially." And I was like, "Oh, well, unfortunately, that's not gonna work because at 3 o'clock, I'm outside with my kids, and I will come back at some point, but, like, I'm not gonna be responding every 10 minutes, like, it's
Mhm.
just not how I work, and that was, like, something that I learned early on that I hadn't communicated my my values in a way that I was trying to morph to other people's
Mm.
values
Yeah,
instead
yeah.
of just saying, "No, this is, like, where I'm at with my business and what I do, and if it doesn't align, it doesn't align," and being okay with that, and that was
Being okay with that is
yeah.
the hard part.
That was the hard part.
It is the hard
'Cause I
part.
loved this person
And
and wanted to work with them and ended up not
mhm.
working with them because it was just, like, I could tell they really valued that, responsiveness, and
Mhm.
it didn't it just isn't in my season of life, I'm not
And it's also
capable of
how
it.
you want to work. Like, I am
Yeah,
not overly responsive either because I don't
yeah,
work in a necessary I think a lot of businesses say fast paced. They don't actually need to be fast
yeah,
paced. They just think that's how they're supposed to be. There are some places that are genuinely fast paced, like the
right.
hospital emergency room is a
Yes.
genuinely fast paced environment. And there are other businesses that are genuinely fast paced.
Yes.
But most of us don't have to be that level of
Yes.
commitment
Yeah,
to
it'd be hilarious to write
immediate.
I'm a slow paced workspace. Like, I'm
Nice.
just
I think you found your new tagline, Chelsea.
I know, I
I
was
just
gonna
called you
say slow
Chelsea, Shelby.
paced.
All right. Now, don't just nod along. Go do something with what you just heard. What's your one tiny action step? And make sure you check the show notes for the link to the full episodes Shelby and I were just talking about if you want more than just a sip. And get in on the Joyosity Works very important party at jennwhitmer.com/books. You'll get the 5-minute Friday videos straight to your inbox, quick, useful, and full of joy-filled leadership tools. So we will see you next week for another sip.